All right. So I know I am no tax professional, but from what I can gather here in relation to this Form 1096, this asshole has my parents remitting to him, right? So this asshole has created something called Racing and Laramie Limited 401k Profit Sharing Plan and Trust at our address. He's the point of contact, email address, has his phone numbers down instead of ours, and then he has his employer identification number in regards to the fucking forms for remittance. And then he has effectively my parents listed here, um, with the payer being him. He has the payer's tax identification number as being, this profit sharing and trust plan. Uh, yeah. So he's got, it's different, it's not by store. So, boom, employer's identification number, point of contact, total number of forms, etc. Nowhere does it appear as in the creation of this entity. All right. Total amount reported with this form. Yeah, he has my parents. It's a remittance. He has them remitting to him. 1099R. Why the fuck? Yeah, I don't get it. So, anyways, this guy, I do not consent to my parents getting fucking ripped off. There's no reason I can think of why my parents having a trust, he doesn't have, they're not the contact person. I haven't seen any of the formation for this trust. I don't even think he probably has them listed as executors. What he does have, though, here is plan amendment set forth by the Bipartisan Budget Act. All right. Dear plan sponsor, in our ongoing effort to keep your plan in compliance with IRS whatever legislation, we have enclosed a plan amendment for your defined contribution plan that needs to be signed and dated. All right, this amendment is more favorable hardship distribution rules. There's no reason why we need hardship distribution rules for our own 401k. There's no reason why the 401k has to be in a trust. This looks shady as fuck. Now, I could totally be, just paranoid right here, right now. But, like, so check this out. Once again, so, Form 1099R, copy for payer. All right. It doesn't say, please keep, it says, please give to Alejandra. Then he has ones that say, please give to Jeffrey. And then this one says, please keep for employer's records. Right? Like, please keep this. This is for the payer. Right? Here's the payer's TIN. I have a feeling that this fucking asshole, and then look at this fucking shit he has fucking already pre-checked for my parents. He just has these stupid little things that say sign and date, doesn't explain a goddamn thing. It says beginning at the effective date, the effective deferrals will not be suspended on account of a hardship distribution, regardless of the date of the distribution. And then this is expansion of sources available for hardships distribution. And then it's saying that these mechanisms are available for hardship distributions. And then after this effective date, yada, yada, yada. All right, so here's some superseding or inconsistent provision bullshit, adoption of the effective amendment. Right, so other general effective date, January 1st, 2020, may not be earlier than the first day of the first year beginning after January 1st, or after. It cannot be earlier than the first date, planned year beginning on or after. All right. So, modification of hardship necessity provisions. I mean, there's no reason why we need this. And then take a look at this. So, the name of the plan. So, it doesn't say that. It says the name of the plan is such. This amendment has been executed. Name of employer. Certificate of adopting resolution. I understand authorized representative of Racine and Laramie Limited, the employer, hereby certifies that the following resolution was duly adopted by employer on such and such, and that such resolution has not been modified or rescinded as the date hereof. Then resolved, the amendment to implement hardship distribution provisions of the Bipartisan Budget Act to the Racine and Laramie Limited Profit Sharing Plan and Trust, the amendment, is hereby approved and adopted, and that authorized representative of the employer is hereby authorized and directed to execute and deliver to the plan administrator, who is not mentioned anywhere, the amendment, which is the store, which is the trust, and take any and all actions as it may deem necessary to effectuate this resolution. Yeah, no. This is totally fucking fraud. He's trying to get my parents to fucking sign this fucking whole thing over to him. Meanwhile, there's a lot of legislation surrounding it. The amendment. It just happens to actually be... Fuck these people, dude. We do not consent. This guy needs to be fucking put in jail. Summary of changes to hardship distributions introduction. This is a summary of material modifications regarding the Racine and Laramie Limited 401k profit sharing plan and trust, quote unquote plan. This is merely a summary of the most important changes to the plan and information contained in the summary plan description previously provided to you. It supplements and amends. All right. You should retain a copy if there's any discrepancy between the terms and the plan is modified. And this summary of material modifications, the provisions of the plan will control. Yeah, no. The one where it says that this guy can do whatever the fuck he wants with this thing. Unless otherwise noted, these changes are effective for plan years beginning after. All right. Summary of changes to hardship distribution. Plan allows you to withdraw money for financial hardships if you satisfy certain conditions. What? Yeah, fuck that. Meanwhile, it says, the plan imposes restrictions on the ability to withdraw certain amounts on account of a hardship. Due to recent changes in the law, the plan has been amended to expand the amounts that can be withdrawn on account of a hardship. It now includes earnings on your salary deferral contributions. It also includes certain employer contributions that are made to satisfy special non-discrimination rules. Look at the plan, oh my God, has expanded effective January 1st, 2018. the list of expenses which qualify for a hardship distribution, and you can now receive a hardship distribution if your principal residence or place of employment at the time of a disaster was in an area FEMA designates as qualifying for individual assistance in connection with a federally declared disaster. The distribution can cover your expenses and losses, including the loss of income on account of the disaster. Additionally, the definition of residential casualty loss has been broadened to include residential casualties even if they are not part of a federally declared disaster. So we can just take your shit. This guy needs to fucking be put in jail. I'm taking this shit. I'm going to make sure that I am just fucking absolutely nuts because this is crazy. Effective restatement of plan. If the employer restates the plan using a pre-approved plan based on the cumulative list of changes and plan qualification requirements for pre-approved defined contribution plans for 2017 or any earlier cumulative list, then this amendment shall remain in effect after such restatement unless the provisions in this amendment are restated or otherwise become obsolete. i.e., if the plan is restated into a plan document which incorporates these provisions. So when we take this and reincorporate it to where you're not involved, what kind of fucking bullshit is this? Other effective date, January 1st, 2020 may not be earlier effective dates unless otherwise selected below. The effective date is the first date of the plan year beginning. All right, expansion of sources available for hardship distributions. Yep, so this is the kind of bullshit that they're fucking pulling on my dad. So the whole reason why I started this trust is because my dad's mental capacity is fucking diminished. Deemed need. Qualified matching contributions described. Qualified non-elected contribution. So it's a qualified non-elective contribution. We're just taking it. Raffle. Certificate of adopting resolution. Certifies that attached hereunto is a copy of the amendment approved and adopted in the foregoing resolution. Yeah, no. So summary, plan descriptions, material modification, introduction. This is a summary of material modifications regarding the Racine Laramie Limited 401k profit sharing plan and trust, quote-unquote plan. This is merely a summary of the most important changes to the plan and information contained in the summary plan description previously provided to you. It supplements and amendments that whatever, so you should retain a copy of this document with your copy of. If you have any questions, contact the administrator. Who's the administrator? Apparently we're not. If there is a discrepancy between the terms of the plan as modified and this summary of material modifications, the provisions of the plan will control. Yeah, fuck that, dude. Fuck this dude.